Hello and welcome back to the True Crime Comedy Podcast, Murderess Podcast. I am your host, Sidney Smith, with my co-host,
Jamie Kamaya.
What up, Jay?
How are you?
How are you? How's everybody out there? Hope everybody's having a great week. I know I am.
Oh.
We'll get into why. Well, I'll give you a little tidbit. I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that here in a second. But first, I want to thank everybody out there who is listening. You guys are absolutely amazing and awesome. Partially because Jamie really shit on the episode that I and my squad did the week prior, and those numbers are better. Those numbers are better than the one he did.
Constructive feedback.
Nope, which should not come from the person who did the one last week that did worse numbers. So,
but it was the week before that set the tone for mine.
I don't think so.
You shafted me.
Thank you guys very much for letting Jay know that I did it on purpose. I am better than he. And you know the crazy thing is, I had one already ready to go last week, and Jamie just wanted to do his. And so this week we'll be doing another one that I and my squad put together. It's a pretty good one.
Feel free to take the week off.
Do not take the week off. This is July 4th weekend.
Come back hunting heavy next week.
Nope. This should be nothing at all but podcasts for you all weekend. Just binge this all weekend. Which we did get someone, let's talk about that in a minute. But we did get someone who said they were binging our stuff last weekend.
Yes, back down under, right?
Right, yeah, which was pretty cool. So we'll get into that too and more. But before we do, thank you guys so much for jumping on and joining us again this week. This podcast where we sit and we talk about the real life murders committed by women, murderesses.
Oh.
Which is why this is called Murderess Podcast. And you guys, because you guys are loyal listeners, your name is Murderous Accomplices.
That was my second choice, but we'll go with it.
Well, you know what? After how poorly your podcast episode did last week, you lucky.
You just didn't know how to spell murderesses.
Hey, guys, before we get started, let me remind you of a couple of things that we do each and every week. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us those 5 stars. We will definitely forever be in your debt. And also leave us a great review if you are listening on Apple Podcasts. We haven't seen a rate or review in a few weeks, so we would love to see a couple more, at least one. If we can get one of each, that will be awesome. So
be lovely.
Yeah, we would be so lovely if you would do that for us. So if you could, we help us out with that. Also, you can help support the podcast also by going to Patreon, patreon.com/Murderous Podcast, and go ahead and picking from a couple of those options there. Or
those
you can
tiers,
or you can just go straight to our website, murdouspodcast.com, and leave us a message there too, and let us know what you think of the podcast, whether you hate it or you love it. But we really want to hear if you love it.
Let us know constructive feedback. I can take it.
He cannot take it because his episode did horrible.
I encourage it.
Horrible.
What's horrible?
Look, man, I'm going to tell you what's horrible. You're singing. All right. So could you give the folks just a little bit of what I get when I say, hey, let's do a mic check. And this is your idea of, being talented.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
And pause. All right. So
you really are a heel.
Oh, God.
That's spot on, man.
Oh, hey, folks, I'm sorry. You didn't tune in for that, but I wanted them to hear.
I'm sorry you thought Thurgood Ravenscroft was actually on this podcast.
Every week I say, sound check. Without fail, this is what I get to hear is that there. Like, could you cut it out already? I
got to make sure the bass levels are correct.
This is not what your voice sounds like all the time. So we have an entire conversation, your voice, and then as soon as I hit record, and then
it's the sexy tone.
The Raven came over, and I'm like, "What is dude? That is not what you sound like." You're so fearful of sounding your true voice for people to hear it that you do what you got. But I get it.
I hate my voice.
That's a little bit closer to it. It's a little kind of nasally.
A little nasally.
It's getting there. But he says, I'm a man of many talents, and you just gotta try them all. You just gotta nurture you.
Have to nurture me until we find out what is the king.
And I told you it's like throwing darts. It's not a lot of talent. You're just throwing shit against the wall, see what fucking sticks.
You never know.
I'm so excited, man. For this week, I've been wanting this to happen for a couple of weeks. I've never wanted to. My wife and I, we take one vacation a year, and this is it. Every year, just around this time. And I've been, man, it's just, I don't know what it is. I've just been wanting to get the hell out of here.
Well, will you be back on Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's my birthday.
Okay, I'll be back Wednesday.
It's all right. You weren't invited.
You're not doing it. Or I was going to say.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. But yeah, I will be back Tuesday if you do have anything planned, which you have yet to let me know. But if you do, let me know.
Ask Avelia, because I have no idea.
Exactly. And she will message me, let me know if there's
I will show up.
But yeah, man, I'm super pumped. Got some good friends we hang out with every year. It's a great time up in Flag, and just can't wait to get up to some 80-degree weather, which would be nice. But just to get away, man.
You don't want 116 every day?
You know what? I don't mind it, but if I could just take a break like halfway through the year, I need it more for the mental.
Can you just tell me you almost died in your yard doing yard work?
Bro, look, man, I'm very upset by this because I waited for weeks for my landscaper to get out here and do the yard.
And he calls you an hour after you're done.
I did it. When I did it, he hits me up today. I did it yesterday. He hits me up today. Hey, we'll be out there Friday. Bro,
he was watching you from the golf course like, all right, he's done. Let's call.
I was so bothered that I'm out here in this heat doing this when I pay this guy to come in. I'm on a schedule, for crying out loud. And you telling me don't make your problem my problem is what I wanted to tell him. But yes, I was not happy about it. And for people out there who are talking about this guy's whining about go shut up somewhere. All right. I don't want to do it. My time is valuable. I have other things I could be doing. All right. And spending 2 hours at 105 degrees is not one of them.
A penny saved is a penny earned.
What am I going to do with that penny if I'm dead? Heat stroke.
It's not good if you can't spend it.
So someone was just telling me the other day they had a acquaintance at their church. He died. He was 38, 4 kids, just died.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. And here or back home?
No,
back
here.
East.
Here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, they had to go to his funeral. It was a friend of his at church or an associate of his at church. Yeah, 38 years old, 4 kids he left behind, and God, I think it was maybe COVID related. I thought it was COVID related, but yeah, he's passed on.
Oh man, nothing makes you realize your own mortality than hearing somebody younger than you pass away.
I think it's more like watching people you grew up watching, seeing them die.
Yeah,
you know, your favorite basketball player, your favorite television actor, whatever. I think you almost forget how old you are until that person's dead. Like,
right.
Holy shit, I was like 12 when I was watching this person on whatever the show was. That's when it always hits me. It's not even so much people that I know or who are within that 6 degrees of separation of me. It's more like those people I grew up watching and listening to.
Yeah, I hate when I see someone like on Facebook. I haven't seen him for 20 years. I'm like, wow, they look like shit.
Oh my God.
And they're younger than me.
Thankfully, all of my old friends who listen to this podcast have aged beautifully.
Oh, that's what I'd say.
But
too.
there is a lot of them out there who do not listen to this podcast. My God, you look horrible.
Yeah, those nasty motherfuckers.
I'm just, well, why aren't you taking care of yourself? What's going on? Is what I think. Because I remember what they used to look like versus what they look like now. And, you know, I know age happens, but man, there's some things you can deter.
I feel attacked.
Well, I am looking right at you.
I have no choice but to look at me.
Actually, you look better now than you did. You look then. You were super pale, and your haircut was a lot shorter. This is a more mature look on you.
I'm working outside on occasion, so.
And you were drinking way too much back then.
Yeah, I drink like once a week now.
Unless someone's with me, I'm not drinking.
Yeah, no, I never have a beer on my own anymore.
I have like a full bar in there. I don't touch unless someone comes over and wants to have a drink.
Oh, I bet if I poured a Fireball right now,
no,
you'd give it a second look.
Not right now. No. Fireball's not something I just roll in. Like, well, barkeep.
Give me a shittiest cinnamon whiskey.
Rack them all. 6 of them. Just me throwing 6 fireballs. No. Fireball, I don't even order it at this point. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I don't order it at this point unless I'm doing a show.
I can see you coming home drunk and just like slapping the bar. Barkeep. And your wife being like, what now?
I've come home pretty intoxicated, but not often, and never have I done that.
The service in here is terrible.
The last time I had a long night, which followed by a long day of hangover, was St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, right?
It was not that long ago, but it was a long time before that. I had not drank like that. Could not remember.
Yeah, you really let yourself go on St. Patty's. I've seen you on a few of them.
Yeah,
it's kind of your day to just say, fuck it.
I do. I enjoy. But you know what? I grew up in Detroit, and if anyone listens to this who's been celebrating St. Pat's in Detroit, we do it pretty big. There are other cities I know do it big. Obviously, Boston does it big. Chicago, which is pretty much our neighbor of Detroit, they do it pretty big. But Detroit does it big. I mean, we get down when it comes to St. Patty's Day.
Yep, we should. Everybody should.
And we do. I mean, you talking about a city downtown area of nothing but tents. White tents popped up in the back of bars all over the place, and
But they all find an Irish flag that day.
oh, brother, everybody's right. Everyone's in a St. Patty's tea. Everyone's doing every Irish drink.
Like when the Boondocks says, "Oh, God, everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day."
Yeah, which is a terrible movie, by the way.
What?
I hate
Guys.
Boondocks.
Think this has been a good run on this
I
podcast.
think it's a good movie, and everyone's dancing to Irish rock music. What's the Flanagans, or what's the name of that? The name of that band?
Not the Mighty Boss Stones, but Mighty Boss Stones. It's
No.
Dropkick Murphys.
Yes, Dropkick Murphy. I don't know why I call them Flanagans.
You seen one, you've seen them all.
The right punch. Flanagans.
Sure wasn't Smitty something?
Yeah, the Dropkick Murphys. Everyone's dancing around to that music. All of a sudden, everybody's a fan of the drop. I got a feeling the Dropkick Murphys are pretty. Their calendar's pretty open until St. Patty's Day. Can you believe it? How many years in a row is this? Everyone's it's whatever, man. But
It's the only time to get any airplay.
oh, this is it. Everyone's got to play it. I can't even think of the name of one of the songs. The song that I can hear it playing in the back of my mind, but I don't.
Oh, see, it's the one like the closers or the relievers for the Red Sox used to run out to.
Yeah.
I could try to sing it, but you made it clear you don't like my singing.
I
so.
made it very clear, and I'm sure I will get some type of message from someone who will say horrible.
Ship it up to Boston. Something around that, isn't it? That's what it is. It's something like that.
Speaking of messages, and because we always ask you guys to send us your messages, we do read them. Someone did ask for us to do Andrea Yates. That is on the list. So
that's going to be a tough one, man.
that it will be, and I will probably end up being the one who puts it together, but we will do the Andrea Yates one. So I promise you that we will get that done. Also, once again, if you have any requests, send them out. We will look at them, try to see if we can make it work. Maybe something entertaining for everyone, hopefully. But Andrea Yates one, I will definitely put together. But we did get, and I sent it to you because it was more about you than me. We did get a great message from someone who was listening to, which I forget which episode, but they kind of referenced something.
No, it's a Catherine McKnight.
Okay, that's Catherine McKnight.
Catherine Knight. No McKnight.
Catherine Knight, which is my favorite one. Yes, yeah. Catherine Knight. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just remember she was quoting from that. That's how I remembered it.
Yes, and you had made some reference to
Dole Bludger.
There it is, and they got onto our IG Murderous Podcast IG, and left us a nice little note there on that one. And they had said they've been binge watching.
Even better.
And I feel terrible, so I'm gonna go ahead here. Jamie's gonna take it away here while I look this up.
Ship it up to Boston.
Okay, all right. No, okay. No, that's not what I meant by take this over. I mean, you are the worst partner when it comes. I have to do everything when we're recording. I mean, I'm just like, geez.
Are we scrolling on our phones? Let me get my phone.
No, we're not just scrolling. I'm trying to find this here.
Google lyrics. Ship it up.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that at all. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I can pull up my text from you, Sidney. I mean, I thought you would have had this on ready to go. You're the organized one here.
You're right. Right. Pull up your text, buddy.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yes. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we gave proper tribute to the person who left the message. And I did not. I thought I would remember the name and I didn't. So forgive me, folks who are listening. That was terrible, terrible podcast airtime.
All right. Her name, or at least her screen name, I'm assuming it's a her. Survive.
There you go.
Suffer, survive, but the V's a 1. I mean, the I's a 1 between the V's.
Can you read?
Not my glasses aren't on.
Oh,
so
my
this
God.
is kind of blurry.
Can we give it here?
Right there. There you go.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like two old men.
Suffer, survive.
We sound like the two old dudes on the Muppets. Like if they gave them a podcast. And it is Suffer, Survive. Thank you, Suffer, Survive, for listening, for binging us all last weekend. Send us another message. I would love to hear some more of your thoughts on some of our other episodes. Or just let us know if you're still digging the podcast. I know you said you binged it all weekend, as you all should do this weekend, because it is a holiday weekend.
Yeah, so you got time.
You got nothing but time.
Nothing. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got Monday off.
A lot of people do, Jay.
Oh, nice.
You just realize that?
I mean, I think I figured as much, but it just dawned on me now that this is a long weekend.
Okay, this is horrible. All right, let's just get through this. Hey, guys, again, thank you guys for listening to Murderous Podcast. We are going to have a good time with you guys. This is our last one until next week.
Until next week.
Next week. We'll be back.
Stay with us.
And we'll hang in there.
How many pages is this? 23? Is this a 3-potter?
Whatever it is, it
combined into one.
Whatever it does better numbers than yours.
Yes, because we ruined it the week before.
No, we did not.
They didn't come back.
All right. So this week's murderess is Waneta Hoyt. See, I already messed it up.
But how can they not know mine's good if they don't listen to it?
They didn't take a chance on it. But
oh, come on.
This week's murderess is Waneta Hoyt.
I'm not going to let this go. Waneta's going to have to wait.
Nope. Waneta is headed on here. I hadn't heard this story. Doing my research, I found some fantastic articles, and this is one of them. So that's what I did on this one. I went through and I found some very good articles. I tied some other information into the article, but for the most part, I thought this was such a good read for me that it would be such a good read or listen for the rest of you. So that's what
Waneta Hoyt.
Waneta Hoyt.
Waneta Hoyt. Sounds like somebody who's on the dole.
Okay, just got to try to tie it back into just any chance.
It's a callback.
Oh my God, you haven't been on stage in forever.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Newark Valley, New York. Between 1965 and 1971, 5 healthy babies were born here to a poor woman who seemed to want them desperately and who mourned each of their deaths with a convulsive grief that quavered the soul. At one funeral, Waneta Hoyt fainted after the lowering of the tiny, pitiful coffin, and at another, her body collapsed with the great force of her sobbing. She had to be helped away from the freshly turned soil at the graveside. These family tragedies, one after another, puzzled friends and relatives as well as the doctors. The deaths were always sudden, the causes inexplicable. The final 2 babies spent most of their short lives in the Syracuse hospital, their every breath monitored by machines. On occasion, they suffered slightly abnormal pauses in respiration. Then, like matchsticks, lit against an unforgiving wind, they each died within a day after being sent home.
Well, this is a sad one.
As a medical case history, this haunting clockwork of mortality seemed a significant table to share. One of the hospital's attending physicians, Dr. Alfred Steinschneider, wrote it up for the noted journal Pediatrics. He went on to become a national expert on the sudden infant death syndrome, which is SIDS. And a lot of people who are listening right now know SIDS. You're of that age, as I and Jamie are. Remember, that was a huge thing. There were so many episodes of television, of mysteries, crime shows where this played a part in it. So
every time my kid slept, I'd keep my finger under his nose.
Everybody was
full panic.
You can't put the kid on his stomach. Then you can't put the kid on his back. And then they figured out let the kid sleep on his side. And it was just all these different things. People were so panicky and afraid of the sudden infant death syndrome. That 1972 article was seen as pioneering work. Pediatricians often cited it as evidence that the unexplained phenomenon of SIDS may well run in families, which I had never heard.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I never heard.
I just thought every kid was susceptible to it.
So those abnormal pauses in breathing could be foretellers of a sudden death. If so, SIDS was possibly preventable with the use of monitoring devices at home. Those conclusions aside, there was also a second, starkly contrary view of Steinschneider's report. Some doctors thought it naive. SIDS cases were too often indistinguishable from smothering. To them, the repeating catastrophes of this woebegone family read like the relentless clues in a murder mystery. It was an arcane, scholarly conflict, easing into obscurity over the years, but time on occasion has a remarkable way of turning backflips. The present reaching into the past. That is what has happened here.
Yeah, social media.
A chance remark to a young prosecutor made him look up the article, and he also began to wonder, were there awful secrets afloat in a grieving mother's tears? 2 months ago, 23 years after the death of her 5th baby, Waneta Hoyt was interrogated by the police for the first time.
It took that long? Five for 5 on infant deaths. Took 23 years.
Questioning went on for almost 2 hours before something gave way. The mother then began to confess the details of 5 suffocations by pillows with a towel against the soft flesh of her shoulder. Quote, "I could not stand the crying," close quote, she told police. It was the thing that caused me to kill them all because I didn't know what to do for them.
So after like the third one, you're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me.
Maybe I should have swallowed. And for a while, that appeared to be that. Waneta Hoyt, age 47, housewife, churchgoer, the mother of an adopted boy now in high school, was arrested. It added yet another to a peculiar string of cases. Women accused of murdering their babies, the deaths often first thought to be Sid's.
But she got 23 years of freedom.
Oh, she was out there for a minute. But now, through her 2 court-appointed attorneys, Hoyt has recanted. They say their frail, emotionally scarred client would have admitted to anything that day merely to end the long crossfire of painful questions. Certainly, that is what her many friends here in upstate New York choose to believe. Memories are vivid of Waneta making her visits to the graves, laying near the headstones, pining to give birth to yet another child. Life may be complicated, they acknowledge, and the human mind is capable of who knows what. But really now, could that woman love her baby so much and then kill them? Waneta Hoyt was born in nearby Richmond, New York, the same birthplace of John D. Rockefeller himself.
Money.
Money. Not always, though, because himself a pauper who left the town as a boy and went on to become the wealthiest man in the world. He would return from time to time and hand out shiny dimes in front of the general store from his chauffeured car.
Shiny dimes? What year was this? Let's see.
When with a shiny dime went a long
richest
way.
man in the world. You spent more on that shine than you did on the dimes you gave away.
Oh my God! I'm glad he didn't give. I'm sure he did give someone of your ilk a dime. Some kid. This is it.
Throw it back at him.
You're sitting in it. What is that? A caddy?
It's back when the 5 and dime store actually cost a dime.
In Rockefeller's time, a century ago, this was a poor, if picturesque, part of America. These days, good jobs are still scarce in the northern reaches of Appalachia. Tim Hoyt, Waneta's husband for the last 30 years, has had trouble finding construction work and is a Pinkerton guard at Cornell University, 30 miles away through the dairy farms and hilly stands of hemlock. In Newark Valley, population 1,190, the Hoyts live in a weather-beaten house along a 2-lane highway. Many people not only leave their front doors unlocked, some can't even recall if they have a key.
I got a key.
I remember growing up in the little town that I grew up in, we would leave doors. You could leave doors unlocked. You go out and start your car and warm them up without.
Yeah, we leave our back door unlocked. We wouldn't leave our front door unlocked.
Like that. At the United Methodist Church up the road, Waneta is known for her generous nature, the craftsmanship of her crocheted afghans, and a long, mind-boggling run of heartache. Her own health is a continuing ordeal. Waneta has a heart murmur and is bent over from arthritis. High blood pressure and diabetes have weakened her eyesight. Breathing is a labor. Her bones are brittle from osteoporosis.
But she made a damn fine Afghan. Hey, got all these baby blankets. I won't be needing them.
Family troubles add to the strain. One of Waneta's brothers is disabled from a hip degeneration. Another has cancer. One sister suffers from a brain tumor. Another, immobile from the waist down, is married to Tim's brother, who has multiple sclerosis. In 1989, Waneta's mother died in an auto accident.
Wow, that's a rough go.
I mean, man, the entire set of offspring,
right? Every single one of them.
Geez, has something.
I take any one of those over in a propensity to kill babies.
Oh, well, I'm with you there. There isn't a well person in the family, said Art Hilliard, a friend of the Hoyt since their childhoods. It has just been one trauma after another.
After another. Okay, that's 5. All right, I'll let it go.
You can't let this go. I wouldn't even expect you and anyone else to. I couldn't let it go when I read this story. Of course, nothing has been harder to endure than the loss of the babies. Eric died at 3 months. Julie at only 7 weeks. James at 28 months, thought to have choked after eating breakfast.
28 months? I can't just say he was 2.
Those were impossible times for the Hoyts. They'd be leaning on each other, crying, trying to be strong for each other, recalled Hilliard's wife, Natalie. Around town, the common sentiments were ones of sympathy, not suspicion. An autopsy was performed on only one of the 3 children. It was inconclusive. The Hoyts simply seemed to be an impossibly star-crossed couple. They lamented as much themselves. Something haywire must be deep set within their babies, they told friends. The Hilliards and the Hoyts would play canasta late into the night, trying to keep their minds from morbid thoughts.
Canasta?
I've never played canasta in my life.
I've never heard of canasta.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it played.
Is it a card game?
I do believe so. When Molly was born, and then again with Noah, the Hoyts sought help from the best doctors around at Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse. Nearly 2 hours away, Dr. Stein Schneider was there. He already had an emerging interest in the phenomenon that most people called crib death, and doctors recently had named the sudden infant death syndrome. As a medical term, SIDS is certainly an unusual one. Rather than a cause of death, it is actually the absence of any detectable cause after an autopsy and investigation, a catch-all for the unexplained.
Yeah, but it usually happens in the first few weeks, right? Once you're like a 3-month-old, to my understanding, wouldn't get SIDS.
Well, I mean, let's keep in mind that this is the earlier stages of it, so I don't know if they've had a real grasp on it. As I'm sitting here reading it out loud for you and our murderous accomplices, I feel like this is kind of a lazy way of them doing their jobs. We really can't find what happened, so
make this bucket.
Here, put it all in here because we can't figure it out.
We'll sort it out later.
Well, hell, we won't even sort it out later. This is here you go. Put a bow on it, and we're done.
You have a bigger bucket to dump that bucket into. You're gonna have a bunch.
Absolutely. So each year, about 7,000 deaths in the United States are categorized as SIDS. Devastated parents find the term something to cling to, better than the maddening cause of unknown. Stein Schneider's paper and similar work by others gave doctors something to latch onto as well. Maybe some babies in jeopardy could be identified and the fatal attack prevented. It was a happier scenario, Stein Schneider recently recalled. I think that's why it has such a major impact. But the facts in the article, merely striking to some, were incredible to others. The journal printed a letter from a doctor who raised the matter of child abuse. The baby should have been put in foster care rather than sent home, the writer said. Perhaps the outcome would have been different.
And was there a history there of abuse on the kids, though?
I don't know if there was, but I think he's just going...
No documented history anyways, right? I mean, just Sid.
Sid. But I think he's saying, if it's one or two, then if you send the other ones, off to foster care, then the other three may survive.
Hey, that's going to be your nickname. Instead of Sid from now on, I'm going to call you Sids.
You are not going to call me Sids.
Sidney.
In his reply, Stein Schneider agreed that child abuse must always be considered in SIDS cases. But in this instance, both he and the nurses had found the baby's parents to be warm and supportive people. He had this to add about the couple he identified as Mr. and Mrs. H. Both parents often would be found sitting by the crib and had to be urged to make physical contact with the baby. It was my impression that they feared becoming too attached emotionally because they anticipated a tragic outcome. Mrs. H expressed on a number of occasions considerable guilt over the death of her children, and because of the inability of physicians to define the cause of death, felt there must be something she did or failed to do that was responsible. Following the death of the fifth infant, Mrs. H did seek and receive outpatient psychiatric care.
5, huh?
Yes.
Okay. It might be me.
No, it's not you. Look, again, going back, reading it out loud now with all of you, and thank you guys. Hopefully you guys are still with us here. I'm pulled in when it says that neither one of these people wanted to touch the kid. They were too fearful to touch the kid. They were too fearful to become attached to the child. Granted, I've never sat with any woman who's lost a child, but I've never seen a woman who would not want to hold her baby.
Yeah, I would think so. I wouldn't be able to not touch, I would think.
Right, or father for that matter.
Yeah.
One skeptic of the 1972 article was Dr. Linda Norton of Dallas, a forensic pathologist prone to complaining about the medical establishment. In lectures, she sometimes singled out the Stein Schneider report for particular scorn. Norton does a lot of consulting. In 1986, she found herself in Syracuse, working on a case where a father had murdered his 3 young children. The assistant district attorney was Phil Fitzpatrick, an aggressive, steely prosecutor from Brooklyn. He thought the crime extraordinary. Hell, Norton told him, you may have the same kind of trouble right in your own backyard. And that case is famous. You can look it up. The remark ate at Fitzpatrick. He got the article. Doctors comfort the bereft and may be inclined to overlook the possibility of foul play. But a prosecutor is paid to be suspicious. To Fitzpatrick, this read like homicide.
Fitzpatrick, that's the guy from Power. We just wrapped that up last night.
Jesus. The stuff that
it was tough to follow it.
The stuff that clicks in your head.
St. Patrick. His name was James. He went by Jamie.
Right, and not Fitzpatrick. Two different names.
I got the Patrick. See, Irish in me. I hear the Patrick.
What's in your cup? I thought you drink water at my house. What's in that cup?
Straight vodka, dude.
So to Fitzpatrick, this read like homicide. I asked myself, how could this be? The killing of 5 children? Obvious to anyone, going undetected. He opened a preliminary file. Then in the happenstances of a career, he left a job for private practice only to return in 1992 after winning an election as district attorney. This time, he ordered an investigation. In 1992.
1992. Here we go. Now we're ready.
There were these clues to go on. The initials of the babies, the name of the hospital, the general time frame of the deaths. One child had been autopsied, so there had to be some kind of report on file, Fitzpatrick said. Fitzpatrick, not
St. Patrick.
No, it's not Fitz.
Going forward, the rest of the story, he will be St. Patrick.
The name Noah Hoyt popped out. It fit perfectly. He was 2.5 months old. His diagnosis was SIDS. So now I had a name and an autopsy number.
Parents listed on that thing?
Right? I subpoenaed the medical records from Upstate Medical Center. Several hundred sheets of paper came in chronicling the life history of this young lad, Noah Hoyt. It was really sad. For some reason, I developed an emotional attachment to Noah, reading the record of virtually every day in his life. He was going to end up like the other 4 babies. You wanted to just reach back in through the hands of time and protect him. Noah has suffered those breathing problems, sometimes bad enough to turn blue. There was a curious pattern to the attacks, the prosecutor noted. They all happened while the child was in the exclusive control of the mother. 2 medical examiners were brought in to confirm. They also went through the records, including autopsies of the 4th and 5th children. Based on the circumstantial evidence, both agreed with Fitzpatrick.
St. Patrick.
They thought the mother was a murderer. The last address in the file was in Tioga County.
We'll just call him Ghost.
The Hoyts were not hard to find. The local prosecutor was notified, and the state police began their own investigation, criminal checks, employment records, birth certificates, marriage license, credit profile, toll calls.
You know what? You can be Ghost. I'm Tommy.
You see, for people who out there who don't know, because he keeps referencing it, Starz has a TV show, great show. If you haven't never watched it, Power.
I'm Tommy.
And the main 2 characters, I would say, is Jamie St. Patrick, which goes by Ghost, which he's a black guy. And then you have his white best friend, who,
his brother. They weren't friends. They were brothers.
They were brothers, and homicidal, crazy, was Tommy. And so this is why my good friend, my brother, who sits across from me, keeps referencing.
Oh, Ghost put a few in the hole himself.
In the middle. That has nothing to do with this. Is not the Power podcast.
That's an idea.
It isn't one.
Dibs. We got this. No one takes this.
Tell someone dibs.
Each episode.
It's all us. All right. The Hoyts were as clean as could be, and there was only one more thing to do: bring the woman in for a talk. So they went through. They did a check on on the credit, the marriage license, birth certificates, employment records, so on and so forth, as I just read off. And the Hoyts were as clean as can be. And so now they decided they need to go get her. And they need to bring Waneta in. So in 1994, because of jurisdictional issues, the case was transferred to the district attorney of the county where the Hoyts resided. In March 1994, Hoyt was approached while at the post office by a New York State trooper with whom she was acquainted. He asked her for help in research he was doing on SIDS, and she agreed. She was then questioned by the trooper and 2 other policemen.
Oh, it was a setup, huh?
Yeah, yep. So the 3 state troopers sat in the interrogation room with Waneta. Several observers, including Fitzpatrick, were able to watch and listen through a 2-way mirror. The woman seemed unruffled as they dredged up her tragedies. And then, near the 2-hour mark, the questioning took a sharp turn.
So how would you do? I'm not saying if you were going to SIDS a kid, I mean, what? Just off the top of your head.
Wait a minute. Sid's a kid. With the police bluffing that they knew the whole truth, that she had killed them all. Suddenly, Waneta stiffened. And then this is what she said of her 5 babies, according to the court records. Eric died January 26, 1965, at 3 months, 10 days. He was crying at the time, and I wanted him to stop. I held a pillow. It might have been a sofa throw pillow over his face while I was sitting on the couch. I don't remember if he struggled or not, but he did bleed from the mouth and nose.
That's disgusting. Next.
Julie died September 5th, 1968. She was 1 month and 17 days. I held her nose and mouth into my shoulder until she stopped struggling.
This is awful.
James died September 26, 1968, 2 years and 4 months. I was in the bathroom getting dressed and he wanted to come in. He came in and I made him go out. He started crying, "Mommy, mommy." I wanted him to stop crying for me, so I used a bath towel to smother him.
Ugh.
Molly died June 5th, 1970, 2 months, 18 days. She was just home from the hospital overnight and was crying in her crib. I used the pillow that was in the crib to smother her. After she was dead, I called Mom Hoyt, Tim's mother, and Dr. Steinschneider.
I want to put a pillow over this chick's face.
She called the doctor too, who had wrote the paper on them. Noah died July 28th, 1971, 2 months, 19 days. I held a pillow over his face until he was dead, and I then called for Mom Hoyt and Dr. Steinschneider. I remember it was a hot day in July. So she breaks down the way she murders all of these poor, defenseless babies. And it just seems like it got easier for her with each one. And I say it seems like because I wasn't there and I'm not listening to it, obviously, and I haven't listened to a recording of it, but reading it, and I'm not trying to read it in any particular way, just reading it, I feel like on the last two, definitely that the explanations got really cold.
Yeah.
On how she did it and why.
Yeah, this is awful just listening to it.
So at the end of the interrogation, she confessed to the murders of all 5 children by suffocation.
23 years, a long time to hang on to that, I guess.
Consequently, she was arrested. The reason she gave for the murders was that the babies were crying and she wanted to silence them. According to some of the witnesses, at this point, Waneta began to worry what people were going to think of her. She asked to see her husband. Tim was brought in, and Waneta told him of her great unburdening. He chose not to believe her. Words were put in her mouth, he suggested.
She's worried about people, There's always some little bit of sympathy for the people that we cover in this, especially when they have like a real traumatic, abusive childhood. But man, not this one. She doesn't get it.
No, and I can't imagine anyone listening would be able to find any. And if you can, please send us that message. We would like to hear from you as well.
I would love to reply to that message.
Well, I will not let you reply. Send your message in. Jamie will not be replying to anything. On
if you defend this woman, send it to JamieKamire@yahoo.com.
Well, this is a big world, and in this big world, we all have difference of opinions.
Yeah,
and you have some people who've lived through some things and can see how some other things can happen. So I'm not saying I agree with it any more than you would, but I am leaving the door open for the people out there who may be able to see both sides.
Ugh.
Okay. And that's from Jamie Kamire. Way to go. Was that when you got divorced? Is that what you put in the brief?
What did I put in the what?
In your brief there.
Oh, the ugh.
Yeah. Was that?
This isn't working out.
All right. So, excuse me. Consequently, she was arrested. The reason she gave for the murders, babies were crying. And then Tim was brought in, and Waneta told him of her great unburdening. He chose not to believe her. Words were put in his mouth. That's what he suggested. I suggest that Tim was an idiot. That you had 5 kids that all died.
Right.
And that you never.
The second one, I would have been like, whoa.
You never thought anything. And now, this many years later.
Anything can happen once.
But you know what? While I would say he's an idiot, maybe he was someone who just did not want to believe that the woman he loved and was married to all those years could do something.
This is like DUIs. I always say anybody can get one.
This is not like DUI.
5 DUIs, guy. If you've been making some choices.
Let's move on. You are not going to compare this to DUIs. So she insisted otherwise. He told her, so he said put words in her mouth. She insisted they did not. He told her he still loved her, and the confessing began again. So keep in mind, folks, she's in this room with him. She did his confession with the 3 officers, with the DA watching and some other folks watching through. Tim was brought in. She tells him what she did. So this is the second time she says it. He says, no way. Words were put in your mouth. She says, no way. They were not. And she begins to confess again. This is 3 confessions in one day of the murder of these 5 kids. So I just want to make sure we keep in count.
I'm not sure what makes him look dumber.
Not say again?
I'm not sure what makes him look dumber. Like the fact that 5 of these happened under his nose,
right?
Or that he still doesn't believe it.
Third time. He's telling you for a second time. These people in the room are hearing it for a third time. So she had seen counselors and a psychiatrist. She said in her signed confession, I feel that if I had got help from them, it would have prevented me from killing the rest of my children. I feel that I am a good person, but I know that I did wrong. I love my children. I love my adopted son, Jay, and my husband. I feel the burden I have carried by keeping a secret of killing my children has been a tremendous punishment. I most definitely feel remorse and regret for my actions. I cannot go back and undo the wrong that I have done. Waneta's court-appointed attorneys say they received 541 calls from the media in just the first days after her arrest for second-degree murder. TV shows tried to fax her a contract. Would the alleged baby killer agree to tell and do a tell-all on camera? Since her confession, neither of the Hoyts has spoken publicly. Waneta is free on bond and the trial is not likely to occur for months. Her lawyers intend to attack the confession, arguing that it was taken under duress. They also hope to show that Sid's has in fact slain more than one baby in the same family. There's evidence to support this in the medical literature, but the odds of 5 in one home are astronomical. Many experts say in most families, the risk of even a second Sid's death is less than 1%.
You lost 5 to Sid. You should play the lottery,
wrote Dr. Susan Beal in a 1992 article in the Journals Clinics in Periodontology.
You know, she should just adopted older kids. I like when I get puppies, right? When we adopt dogs, we adopt older dogs. I don't want to deal with a puppy. They're a pain in the ass. We get older dogs. This is what she should have done. A little older kid that doesn't cry so much.
I mean, that's not a, I know you, I don't know if you're being serious or you're joking, but that's not a bad thought. Because I do know some people who do adopt because they don't want to deal with the things of having a baby or a toddler.
We give an older dog a chance that it never would have had. You can do the same.
And
I'm set puppy. I'm gonna get pissed off at that puppy. Put a pillow over its head, but I think we're just better. She should have gone a different route.
I think she just shouldn't have had kids, period. So sudden death.
Someone that can push that pillow back if she tries anything. Yeah, how do you like it?
I ain't gonna be no bitch. Sudden infant death syndrome commonly strikes babies 2 to 4 months old. No single pattern of pathological marker has been found for it. Clearly, the vast majority of mysterious infant deaths do not involve murder. Epidemiologist Philip McLean of the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reviewed the studies and says that estimates show child abuse plays a role in only 1.4% to 4.7% of SIDS cases. Those percentages, small as they are, make the questioning of bereft parents a difficult, if necessary, business. Horrendous crimes have been uncovered. The best known occurred not far from here. In Schenectady, New York, friends and physicians.
What place?
Schenectady.
Because I've been to Schenectady.
Oh. Schenectady.
There's always one. And I didn't slip this one in here. Use your little Google Speak app you got there. Schenectady. Oh, Schenectady, New York. There was a GE. My father worked for GE in Lynn, Mass, and I know there was a GE in Schenectady. That's the only reason I'm familiar with it.
That's fine.
Upstate New York.
And that's what I said.
Schenectady. When'd you get a lisp?
In Schenectady, New York. Friends and physicians alike consoled Mary Beth Tenney as one by one, her 9 children died of mysterious causes.
Whoa.
She was convicted of murder in 1986. So these are the other cases that they say you can go back and that they went back and looked at. Diana Lumbrera's first 5 children died between 1976 and 1984. So did a 2.5-month-old cousin left in her care. People who knew her in a string of West Texas towns felt sorry for Lumbrera. She would rush the children to the hospital, but it was always too late to save them. Only when her 6th child died in Garden City, Kansas, was a murder suspected and then proved in court. 6 kids then?
6, huh?
Psychiatrists speculate on motives in such cases.
It's like when you hear about the guy with 6 DUIs. Wait, you got 7? Another guy got 7?
One theory has it that a woman who kills her child would repeat the crime to punish herself, confirming that she is an unfit mother. Another theory is the bizarre disorder known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, named for the 18th century German baron who told fantastic tales. Typically, the parent, usually the mother, will make up a child's illness or actually cause harm in order to get attention.
Oh, gain sympathy, right?
Yeah, that's Munchausen. Some doctors say the mothers are sympathy junkies. Munchausen syndrome by proxy has been mentioned repeatedly in the Hoyt case, but that may be only a fondness for exotic labeling. Dr. Michael Baden, director of the Forensic Sciences of New York State Police, has worked on the case. He views it more matter-of-factly. Right now, it seems like straight homicide, he contended. She killed the kids because she was tired of their crying. Waneta and her husband are very close. He was away at work a lot, and maybe she couldn't handle the stress. With her adopted baby, her husband had been laid off, and he was at home to help out. With the other kids, when she couldn't handle things, she only could figure out one way to keep them quiet. She killed them. Dr. Alfred Steinschneider has the affable presence of a country doctor. His sentences mingle medical jargon with the easy humor of his native Brooklyn. He remains a believer in this controversial notion that SIDS cases are predictable and preventable with the use of monitoring equipment at home. In hindsight, some people have questioned his judgment in the Hoyt case. One is Prosecutor Fitzpatrick. How could a doctor not realize that Molly and Noah were in harm's way? I know it was 2.5 decades ago, but was he overly consumed with expounding on his theory, or was he concerned with his patient? And that's what I thought as well, that he was more in line to try to prove what he already thought or prove his theory than to be really worried about what was going on with these kids.
Yeah, he just kind of passed. He took a mulligan on that one when he could have done more. Because
she killed 5 kids. The last 2 she called you on. So, right. On the 4th one, I mean, you couldn't see anything else but SIDS.
Yeah, that's real sketchy on his part. He's covering at that point. You got to assume it's fair to assume he's covering something.
I would think so.
Maybe they were his kids.
I think 2 things can be. I think 2 things can occur at the same time. I can believe that you wanted to prove your theory and that you thought that this was the right thing, but I also think that part of you said, this bitch might be killing these kids.
Number 4?
And I'm hoping that she's not.
Just woke up and say, you telling me number 5? Like, really?
Right. So that is a hurtful accusation for Steinschneider, who has devoted much of his life to the study of SIDS. He is a founder and president of the American SIDS Institute in Atlanta. His ability to defend himself is limited by confidentiality requirements that he feels duty-bound to honor. I'm sure he does. What's missing from all this cheap talk, this impugning of motives, this show, is that it doesn't save a single baby, he said. What they ought to be saying is, let's examine the deaths of babies and make better identification of the causes of deaths to help sort things out. That's what you should have been doing, jackass.
Yeah, that was you.
Now that's what they ought to be doing instead of saying things about you that you think are not fair to you and your reputation.
Let's prioritize here.
Now this is you should have been making better identification. In the Hoyt case, he relied on the opinions of the medical examiners. If people think there were inadequate autopsies done, then check the autopsies. Big shots, he said. If they think these kids were murdered, then show me. Because what they are saying now is at variance with what the people who investigated the case said then. If there's criticism, I'll accept from the pathologies. Is that I accepted the opinion of other pathologists. So, first of all, I love the fact he called them big shots. So that's a real old man.
Okay, he kind of won me over there.
It was big shots, but I don't like what he's saying because it feels like he's finger pointing. Because I'm going to reread. If they think these kids were murdered, then show me. because what they are saying now is at variance with what the people who investigated the case did. Weren't you one of the people who investigated the case?
Yeah.
Didn't you investigate? Weren't you a doctor? Don't you have MD somewhere in there in your name?
Well, you don't even need an MD to say 5.
So, I mean, you landed right. Yeah,
4.
You're right. Just 4. Let's go with 4. You couldn't have pushed back what the I don't know why I can't say this word. What the pathologists were saying. You couldn't push back on it at that time.
You should at least been like, hey, I think you should get your tubes tied.
So to him, the current focus on his 1972 article misses the point. In college, I learned the word heuristic. And that's what is important here. Was the paper heuristic? Did it lead to learning? The important thing is not the paper itself, is that the paper led to a significant amount of learning. He paused for a moment, his eyes lit with a thought. Without the paper, he said, would people even know this case existed? He's driving me nuts.
He's aggravating you.
These guys. Big shots. These days, Waneta spends a lot of her time caring for her sister, the one dying of a brain tumor.
This is like current?
She has begun to attend church again after missing some Sundays. Her friends call on her and try to cheer her up. Those friends are appalled by what they hear on the news. This woman described as a baby killer.
Those friends are in the will.
This abomination is not the Waneta they know. Accepting the allegations is as crazy and unthinkable to them as summer coming after fall. Can they
play the recording of her third admittance to it? Here you go.
What is behind this feeding frenzy for vengeance, they ask. They arrested Waneta and then put her on suicide watch so they could keep her safe and kill her later, said her minister, the Reverend Lisa Jean Hoffner. Nothing is going to bring those kids back now. In the meantime, we destroyed Jay and Tim and Waneta. What sense is that? Newark Valley seems to have been invaded by big city experts and their big city ideas. What strikes people as particularly odd are notions such as Munchausen by proxy. If you want to be a psychological, let's ask if this is Fitzpatrick's way of getting back at his mother, the minister said. Or ask what office he's running for. Is this his way of getting attention? I have no idea. Well, I do kind of have an idea because I think it's 1,190 people in this town. It's like always small towns. Anything that has to do with science.
Yeah, the further you get from the big city, the less science matters.
You know, right? And the further you get away, you hear people say these big city experts say things like that. And big shots, of course. Their neighbor Waneta holds a blank check on their loyalty. How could it be otherwise? Natalie Hilliard, in defending her friend, was struck by another memory. She recalled how she had helped a pregnant Waneta set up a room for the little ones about to be born, and how time again they had tearfully packed the baby's things away. Hoyt later recanted her confession, and its validity was an important issue during the trial. An expert hired by the defense, Dr. Charles Patrick Ewing, testified that it is my conclusion that her statement to the police on that day was not made knowingly, and it was not made voluntarily. He diagnosed Mrs. Hoyt with dependent and avoidant personality disorder, and opined that she was particularly vulnerable to the tactics used during her interrogation. Dr. David Berry, a psychiatrist hired by the prosecution, agreed that Waneta Hoyt had been manipulated by the police tactics. Nevertheless, Hoyt was convicted in April 1995. On September 11, 1995, she was sentenced to 75 years to life, 15 years for each murder to be served consecutively. It has been speculated since her conviction that Hoyt suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, a diagnosis not universally accepted in this case.
I suppose it makes the most sense if you have to diagnose something, right?
Yeah, but I don't know, again, because I wasn't at the trial. I wasn't on either side. Excuse me. I was going to sneeze there. I would love to know, fine, if both these shrinks want to say that she was manipulated, then how does she confess 3 different times?
Right.
In the same day.
Yeah, if you grind something out of her, she's not going to sit there repeating, then call the husband in. Hey, let me repeat that for you.
So that doesn't make sense for me. Hoyt died in prison of pancreatic cancer in August 1998. She was formally exonerated under New York law because she died before her appeal had been heard.
Oh, we've heard that before.
Yes. Oh, Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, Aaron Hernandez.
Which is one of our Patreon bonus episodes.
Oh, check it out.
So Hoyt died. So she died pancreatic. And so, yeah, exonerated because she died before her appeal could be heard. What's your thoughts on this one, man?
Oh, I never like hearing the stories about kids. It's always rough, and any sympathy I might have for the perpetrator's history or their past just kind of goes out the window for me. It's like, how can you not separate the two? Some of them I get it. I mean, we did Eileen Wuornos, Monster, right?
Yep.
What a brutal childhood shoot. It's like that was like writing on the wall. Not defending it, was writing on the wall. This one, I just no sympathy whatsoever.
I really want to go. Well, this again, two things. The one, the Dr. Steinschneider really bothers me. He said all the way up to his most recent comments, which I read that were in the article. He really bothers me. Really upsets me. 5 kids, two of them on your watch, and you were still pushing this whole SIDS thing, and it wasn't my fault. And look what the pathologist had to say about it. And so, no, you were the leader of the movement.
How did the whole town not get behind this? Like how
they were behind her.
I mean, we're talking about a couple people here, but there are hundreds of people that had to be aware of this and did nothing.
Well, and as I sat and I read this initially and listened to how she and the friend would get the room ready for the baby upcoming birth, and then they would pack all the baby's things away. No one ever thought anything of this, and it leads me to think that this woman probably did suffer from Munchausen syndrome by proxy.
Pack them up like she's going to use them again.
Well, just getting that sympathy after each death after each child, and I had read in some other documents when I was looking at looking this up, she had not killed the adopted kid because the husband was home.
Right. Wasn't nearly as stressful. I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Not stressful. She didn't have the time.
Yeah, she didn't have the opportunity.
The opportunity wasn't there to kill this kid because he was home.
Right.
So
plus it's not her kid. Maybe she doesn't feel like it's going to be quite the same.
I don't think that had anything to do with it at all. I think it had everything to do with her getting sympathy from that town, from people who were close to her. As they say, and I know that the 2 shrinks tried to push back on it, but I'm going to go back to it. One of the first things she says to the cops after what are the people going to think of me? What are people in town going to think of me?
Well, if the stepkid died, then the husband would have got all the attention more than her.
Look, and I'm with you when it comes to murdering kids, and we're gonna, they're not easy to read, they're not easy to research, but they're always. I hope I find something compelling to me in the story. Hopefully, you find it compelling as well as audience members and you as my co-host. But I did find something in this that just pulled me into the story, even though it's a heartbreaking story.
Right, and we like to have fun on here. We like to joke around a lot. And sometimes these can be difficult.
Yeah, we do like to joke.
Keep it light.
Well, I mean, you know what? I think I'm gonna say this for everyone. I think you're more concerned sometimes with keeping it light. I just want the story to be what the story is.
Yeah, but us keeping it light, I think, is part of our lore, if you will.
I think it's more for you and your sanity that we keep it light. Don't try to actually do it for the people. But this was a good one, and I think this is way better than the one you did last week. And I look forward to it.
I did. You presented.
Well, we presented together.
You can't blame something that wasn't listened to. They have no idea if it was good
First
or bad.
of all, I'm doing exactly what Dr. Steinschneider did.
That's some big shots.
Hey, folks, thank you guys very much. I've been Sidney Smith.
And Jamie Kamaya.
From Sidney Smith Creative, this has been the Murderess Podcast. If you like our show, be sure to tell your friends and family. That is super duper important. Go ahead and click that share and turn this over to someone. Also, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you are listening right now. That too is super important. If you enjoy my voice and the nasally voice of Jamie Kamaya, go ahead and click subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts if you're able to. iHeartRadio, again, we appreciate you folks who are listening to iHeart. You guys are really kicking ass. Thank you guys. Remember, you can also support the show and receive that bonus content by going to our fan club by joining patreon.com/murderous podcast. About the story you just heard, we sourced it from A Mother Who Lost 5 Babies by Barry Barrick, Los Angeles Times, May 22nd, 1994, and the wikipedia.org. Remember, folks, be aware of your surroundings, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Happy 4th of July. Don't let your kids handle sparklers and fireworks.
My birthday's Tuesday.
No one cares.